Have you ever felt like no matter how much you achieve, it's never quite enough? Like no matter how fast you move, someone else is always 10 steps ahead, shining brighter, living louder, succeeding faster? We live in a world addicted to comparison. Scroll through any feed and it hits you. Success stories, highlight reels, perfect snapshots stitched together like everyone's life is some endless parade of victories. And slowly, almost silently, we start measuring our worth with rulers that were never meant for us. But what if I told you there's another way? An ancient Japanese philosophy so gentle, so freeing, unhooks you from the race entirely. It's called Oubaitori, rooted in the quiet wisdom of nature itself. Oubaitori holds a truth we desperately need in today's noisy world. You're not supposed to grow, bloom, or succeed like anyone else. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share how this beautiful idea can change the way you see yourself forever, how it can unlock a calmer mind, deeper self-confidence, and a minimalist life that feels truly, truly yours. And here's the most important part. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why you should stop comparing yourself. You'll actually feel ready to. So before we dive in, I want you to reflect. What's one area of your life where comparison steals your peace the most? Drop it in the comments below, because healing starts with honesty. And if you're ready to live with more peace, more authenticity, and a kind of minimalism that's not just about empty shelves, but about a fuller heart, subscribe. You're not here by accident. You're exactly where you need to be. What is Oubaitori? In Japanese culture, there's a quiet wisdom passed down through generations, a lesson hidden in the very rhythm of nature itself. It's called Oubaitori, a single word that carries a whole way of seeing the world and seeing yourself. Oubaitori refers to 4 beautiful trees, the sakura, ume, momo, and tachibana. Each one blooms in its own season. Each one grows in its own way, following its own silent, ancient rhythm. And most importantly, each one is stunning, but in a completely different way. The cherry tree bursts into pink splendor in early spring, delicate and brief. The plum tree blooms earlier, defying the cold with small, strong blossoms. The peach tree fills the air with soft, sweet fragrance when summer approaches, and the wild orange, sturdy and vibrant, offers its fruits when the others have already quieted down. None of them ever looks at the other and thinks, maybe I should be blooming faster. None of them says, maybe my flowers should be brighter like hers. None of them doubts their place, their worth, their timing. That's Oubaitori, a profound reminder that your journey, your growth, your beauty are entirely your own. Pause for a moment. Really let that settle in your mind. How often do we treat our lives like a race we're losing, scrolling through social media, watching classmates, co-workers, strangers build their careers, buy homes, start families? Feeling that sharp, sinking feeling inside, why am I not there yet? We rush ourselves, we question our own progress, we dim our own light because someone else's seems to shine brighter. But the trees, they don't rush, they don't envy, they don't apologize for blooming later or earlier or differently. Imagine living like that. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your timeline isn't broken, that your dreams, your healing, your milestones don't have to happen at the same speed or in the same way as anyone else's. Imagine feeling deep in your bones, I am exactly where I'm meant to be. That's not just a comforting thought, it's revolutionary. It's the foundation of a truly minimalist life, a life free from the crushing weight of constant comparison. So right now, I want to ask you, where in your life are you feeling rushed? Where are you feeling like you're already behind? Hold those questions. We're about to dive even deeper. Because understanding Oubaitori isn't just about seeing trees differently. It's about seeing yourself differently. And that's where real peace begins. What's one area of your life where you feel rushed or like you're falling behind? Drop it in the comments. Sharing it might just be the first step to setting yourself free. And if you want more reminders to honor your own timing, make sure you subscribe. Here, we're growing slowly, deeply, and together. How comparison blocks true minimalism. When most people hear the word minimalism, they think of clean white walls, half-empty closets, and tiny homes with one chair in the living room. But real minimalism? It's much deeper than the things you own. It's about what you carry inside. It's about clearing the mental clutter, the invisible weight that keeps you trapped chasing things you don't even truly want. And if there's one form of clutter that's heavier than any overflowing closet or crowded shelf, it's comparison. Comparison is the silent thief. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It slips in quietly, disguised as motivation or inspiration. But before you know it, your mind is jammed, overloaded with goals that aren't even yours. Think about it. You see someone online building a business, and suddenly you feel like you should be doing more. You see someone traveling the world, and suddenly your life feels small. You see someone buying a house, getting fit, getting married, and suddenly your own timeline feels off. Not because your heart wanted those things right now, but because comparison planted the seed of not enough. Comparison makes you collect things you were never meant to carry, dreams that don't align with your soul, standards that exhaust you instead of energizing you, insecurities that didn't even exist until you looked sideways. And here's the hidden trap. The more you compare, the more you consume. You start buying clothes, gadgets, experiences, not to nourish your soul, but to feed the image. You start saying yes to projects, relationships, and opportunities, not because they light you up, but because you're afraid of being left behind. You decorate your life with noise instead of nourishing it with space. But Oubaitori offers a gentle rebellion against that noise. It whispers to you in the quiet moments, grow at your own pace, shine in your own light, blossom when it's your time. Imagine what would happen if you stopped measuring your worth by someone else's milestones. Imagine if your definition of success wasn't borrowed, but born from within you. Imagine the peace that would bloom when you stopped racing and started rooting deeply into your own season. Because here's the powerful truth. The less you compare, the less you consume. The less you consume, the more you connect to yourself and to what truly matters. Minimalism in its purest form isn't about owning less. It's about wanting less because you finally realize that what you have and who you are is already enough. So I want to invite you into a small but profound exercise. Today, ask yourself honestly, what's one thing you're chasing right now? Only because you saw someone else do it? Maybe it's a purchase, maybe it's a goal, maybe it's even a version of yourself you think you should be. Write it down, look at it clearly. Then, imagine setting it down like a heavy bag you've been carrying for too long. Feel that space, that lightness. That's what real minimalism feels like. And that's the space where your true self, your true bloom, can finally breathe. Stay with me, because in the next part, we're going even deeper into how to protect that space and let your own season unfold naturally. What's one thing you're ready to let go of today? The thing you realize was never truly yours? Tell me in the comments. And if this message is speaking to your heart, don't forget to subscribe. Because here, we're not chasing, We're choosing peace, one day at a time. How to practice Oubaitori in your everyday life. It's one thing to understand Oubaitori in theory. It's another thing entirely to live it. Because in a world that constantly screams faster, better, more, choosing your own season can feel almost rebellious, but it's the kind of rebellion that leads to peace. And it starts small. Here's how to begin practicing Oubaitori, not just admiring it from a distance, but weaving it into the very fabric of your daily life. First, notice the urge to compare. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to shame yourself for feeling it, just notice it. Catch the moment when you're scrolling or walking past someone's perfect highlight reel and you feel that little pinch inside, that whisper of, "I'm falling behind." Pause, take a breath, and simply say to yourself, "Ah, there's that feeling again." Awareness is powerful. When you can name the urge, you take away its control. Second, celebrate your own timing. The world may not throw a party for your quiet victories, but you should. Tonight, before you fall asleep, write down one way you've grown this year, something nobody else sees. Maybe it's the way you're a little more patient now. Maybe it's how you finally set a boundary you used to be too afraid to set. Maybe it's simply surviving a season that tried to break you. Honor that, because real growth often happens invisibly, beneath the surface, like roots deepening underground. Third, curate your inputs. Be fiercely protective of what enters your mind. Follow fewer people. Mute voices that make you feel like you're constantly behind. Unsubscribe from the endless drumbeat of more, more, more. Create a digital space that feels like a peaceful garden, not a competitive arena. Imagine waking up every morning and tending to your mind like you would tend to a sacred garden, pulling out weeds, planting beauty, letting light in. Your environment matters more than you think. Fourth, practice radical gratitude. Not the kind of gratitude you post online to impress others. Real, soul-deep gratitude. Every night, before the world floods your mind with what you're missing, anchor yourself in what you already have. Name 3 things you love about your life as it is right now. Maybe it's the smell of your coffee in the morning. Maybe it's the way sunlight hits your window just right. Maybe it's the quiet strength you didn't realize you had until life asked you to be brave. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from racing to resting. Because remember, the cherry tree never looks at the plum tree and thinks, "Maybe I should bloom earlier." It doesn't doubt its season. It doesn't question its beauty. It simply blooms with everything it has when it's time. And so can you. Stay with me, because next I'll show you how to protect this new way of living, especially when the world tries to pull you back into the race. Your bloom is coming. Imagine waking up tomorrow, and instead of reaching for your phone, instead of diving into a sea of other people's lives, you pause, you take a deep breath, you step into your own morning, raw, imperfect, honest, and you whisper to yourself, "This is my tree. This is my season. This is enough." No rush, no race, just roots deepening, branches stretching gently toward the light. That's Oubaitori. Not a race to win, not a stage to perform on, but a quiet, sacred celebration of becoming exactly who you were always meant to be. Minimalism isn't just about emptying shelves or counting how few things you own. It's about clearing something far heavier. The toxic belief that you must be someone else, achieve faster, shine brighter, prove more. But you are already enough. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not less. You are a tree in bloom, even if the flowers are just beginning to bud where no one else can see. And maybe, just maybe, your bloom isn't somewhere far off in the future. Maybe it's already happening, quietly, steadily, beautifully right now. So if you needed a sign today, hear these words clearly. Your bloom is coming in your own way, in your own time, in a way no one else ever could replicate. If this message touched something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone you love, someone who might be doubting their own season right now. And if you're ready to keep building a life that feels lighter, freer, and more authentically yours, subscribe. Because here, your growth is not rushed. Your journey is not judged. Here, your soul is given space to breathe. And your story? It's only just beginning. And if you want to dive even deeper into the beautiful wisdom of Japanese minimalism, there's a video already waiting for you. In it, I share 10 simple habits inspired by Japan that you can try for just 7 days. Small shifts that create powerful changes in how you live, what you value, and how much peace you feel every day. It's practical, inspiring, and perfect if you're ready to start living more intentionally with less clutter and a lot more meaning. Go check it out next. I think you'll feel deeply inspired.